Unit 5, Lesson 3, Activity 3, Solving Elapsed Time Problems. Go ahead and look at page 175 and look at questions 24 through 26. Complete. You can imagine the hands moving to tell how much time has passed. How many hours have passed since 12 o'clock on each clock? How many minutes? Where would the minute and hour hand be at 12 o'clock? Both hands would be at the 12. How can you tell how much time has passed since 12 o'clock? We would look at the hour hand, which has moved 1 hour. So on question 24, when it says how many hours have passed since 12 o'clock on each clock, we're going to write in 1 hour on the top line. And then the second part of the question says how many minutes? Well, think about how many minutes are in 1 hour. There are 60 minutes. Question 25. It's now 3 o'clock. Remember, we started at noon or at 12 o'clock, and we are now at 3 o'clock. How many hours have passed? Well, we know we can count 1, 2, 3 hours. Remember, to figure out how many minutes have passed in 3 hours, we're going to multiply times 60. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 60. Notice how I'm doing my little work out to the side. I know that 6 times 3 is 18. Add my 0. So 180 minutes. Question number 26. I start at noon or 12 o'clock and I go all the way around to 8. How many hours has passed? Well, we know that 8 hours have passed. To figure out how many minutes, I'm going to multiply 60 times 8. Go ahead and write your answer there. Now for questions 27, 28, and 29, how many hours and how many minutes does the clock show? Write the time that the clock shows. So notice now both the hour hand and the minute hand have moved. Question 27. The hour hand is pointing, it comes right after the 2, so we're going to have 2 hours. And how many minutes? Count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So my time is 2, there's your colon, 20. Go ahead and complete 28 and 29 on your own. Go ahead and look at question number 30. It says, how many hours and minutes have passed between the times shown in exercises 27 and 28? They are referring to number 27 and 28. You need to figure out how many hours and minutes have passed since it was 2:20 and in this clock it's 5:35. How many hours are between them? What are some ways that you can figure it out? Well, you could count the tick marks. The minute hand moved from the 4 to the 7, and there are 15 small tick marks between the 4 and the 7, which is 15 minutes. You can also count by 5s to find the minutes. The hand starts at the 4, and then it moves the 5, 6, and to the 7. If I count by 5s, I get 5, 10, 15. Then I'm going to move my hour hand from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, which is 1, 2, 3. When I put those together, I'm going to have 3 hours, 15 minutes. Go ahead and complete exercises 31 and 32. In your journals, go ahead and write the numbers 9:35 a.m. minus 8:21 a.m. Think of a word problem that matches these numbers. How about Dalton practiced his drums from 8:21 a.m. to 9:35 a.m. How long did he practice? At which time do you start the subtraction? You would use the later time. This was the start, this was the end, so you'll use the later time. How do you subtract? Subtract the minutes from the minutes and the hours from the hours. So 35 minus 21, 5 minus 1 is 4, 3 minus 2 is 1, so there's 14 minutes. And 9 minus 8 is 1, so 1 hour, 14 minutes. Go ahead and look at page 176. We'll be solving elapsed time word problems. The school store is open for 1 hour and 45 minutes in the afternoon. The store closes at 2:55 p.m. What time does the school store open? First, I need to check and make sure that both times are in the same time frame, meaning AM and PM. I'll notice this says 1 hour and 45 minutes in the afternoon. The store closes at 2:55 p.m. So I'm talking about afternoon. If I know that it's 2:55, I can subtract 1 hour and 45 minutes from 2:55, which is going to give me a 0 and a 1, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So what time does the school store open? It opened at 1:10 p.m. Again, remembering my label, I'm dealing with the afternoon. On question 34, notice how it says Hannah's practice starts 9:45 a.m. and ends at 12:35 p.m. How long is Hannah's practice? Well, you'll notice here 9:45 a.m. to 12:35 p.m. I suggest that we list the information over here in our showing our work. So we are going to start at 9:45. We don't know how much time is going to elapse or go on. And we know that it's going to end at 12:35. You can't just subtract 12:35 minus 9:45 because you're dealing with AM and PM. So really, what you need to figure out is the elapsed time between 9:45 to noon, or 12 o'clock, and then the elapsed time from 12:35 to noon. So from 9:45 to 12, we know that 45 minutes to the top of the hour is going to be 15 minutes. And then we can count 10, from 10 to 11 to 12. So we know that this is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let me rewrite that so that it's not looking like a time. 2 hours, 15 minutes. And we know that from 12:35 to 12 o'clock, that's a difference of 35 minutes. Now I can go ahead and I can add together 2 hours and 15 minutes plus 35 minutes. Noticing that I'm labeling and matching up my minutes together and my hour. Well, I know that 5 plus 5 is 0, and 1 plus 3 is 4, so that's 40 minutes, and I bring down my 2 hours. So my answer is, I'm sorry, I forgot to carry the 1. 5 plus 5 is 10, so this should be 50 minutes. So my answer would be 2 hours, 50 minutes. Go ahead and complete questions 35 through 38 on your own.